Hello everyone, this is Madhuri, Associate Professor, Department of Law, SPMVB. Today we are going to look on another topic on labor laws, that is Code of Wages 2019. As we want to see an introduction part, according to this Act Section 2H, this particular Minimum Wages Act 1948 means all kind of remunerations on a wages capable of being expressed in terms of money, and if the terms of and contracts of a particular employment express or implied, whether fulfilled, be payable to a person employed in respect of their employment or work done in such employment can be considered. It also includes rent allowance, and some cannot be issued on that, like the value of any house accommodation, supply of light, water and medical attendance, and any other amenities or any kind of a services excludes by general or a special order of appropriate government. Any contribution paid by employer to any person fund or provident funds or under any scheme of social insurances, or any traveling allowances or the value of any traveling concession also can be coming under this fact, and any sum payment to the persons employed or defray the special expenses entailed by him by the nature of his employment. And wages means economic compensation paid by employers to employee for services rendered by the latter. And the Committee of a Fair Wages 1948 always gives you a picture of 15th session of Indian Labour Conference, that is on 1957. It has been propounded for the particular way of a wages concept comes under minimum wages, living wage, fair wage, direct and indirect compensation, time rate and piece rate system. And the minimum wage we can talk about as a minimum wage is a compensation to be paid by an employer to his employee in respect of his ability to pay. The minimum wage must provide not only the bare necessities of a life but also for preservation efficiencies of work, namely education, health and other requirements and amenities. Sanjit Roy versus State of Rajasthan 1983 clearly says that minimum wage, unless of course the minimum wage fixed by the notification under the Minimum Wages Act, comply with the particular prescribed rates of minimum wages under the Minimum Wages Act 1948 as applicable in state. And the living wages, we can just talk it about a living wages and compensation which enables the earner to provide himself and his family with not only the barest of a particular necessities of life, like food, clothes, shelter, but also measure of the fungal comfort, which is to be included education for the children, protection against ill health for demands of social needs, insurance against misfortunate and old age needs. And these wages ensures the standard of living. The term living wage refers to the particular theoretical income level that allows the particular individuals or families to afford adequate shelter, food, clothes and other necessities. Fair wage we can talk about as a minimum wages and living wages. It is above the minimum wage and below the living wages. The wage is linked with the capacity of an industry and at the same time it is to be paid. It depends upon factors like labor productivity, labor prevailing in the same distribution and the place interest in the economy of a country. Direct and indirect compensation comes under the monetary benefits offered to the employers for services rendered by them to the organization. And these monetary benefits includes basic salaries, convenience, leave, travel allowance, and at the same time medical reimbursement, bonus, gratuity, provident fund, etc. Indirect compensation includes non-monetary insurances and holidays, homes, hospitalization, and so on. Time rate and the piece rate system, if you want to talk, it is always paid based on the time spent by the particular employees in a factory. The production by workers is not considered. In piece rate system, the payment is related to output given by the workers. The wage rate is fixed for a piece of work or for the certain quantity of production. Wage board we can talk about as the Government of India acting on the recommendations of the first 5-year plan appointed wage board for the fixing of our wages. The wage board or the tripartite in nature with the independent members and the chairman. It was actually the Committee on a Fair Wage, and it also recommends the setup of wage boards for the fixed wages. Wage boards are set up because workers were not satisfied with the method of compulsory adjudication for the wage determinations. Only because it was a lengthy procedure, and also there is no role play to the play, especially on the determining of wages. The first and second 5-year plans comes under the drawing support from the Fair Wage Commission's recommendations encouraged the particular setup of wage boards to deal with all aspects of questions of wages. A wage board system is a tribunate in characters and non-statutory boards consisting of representatives, and at the same time employers works according to that. A wage board issues are a detailed questionnaires, collect information from concerned parties, make an assessment of views of the parties and makes its recommendations regarding wage rules. The management may not always implement the wage structure recommended. And case laws we can see D.P. Kelkar versus Amdas Bajaj 1970 case we can refer, and also the manager Spring Mills versus G.D. Ambedkar 1947. And finally, I can say the code would contribute to efficient execution of wage laws by establishment uniformity in the definition, mechanisms for e-governance and transparency, the right to appeal and the compensation of offences. As a result, codes new play laws will be powerful instruments for scheduling the workplace, and it was undoubtedly result in a new paradigm in a wage law enforcement. Thank you.